So we're on 6-2. Nope. Now, because questions 1 and 2 are just review, just extra practice, here's what we're going to do to start our notes today. The person on the left is going to do number 1. The person on the right is going to do number 2. And when I say stop in about 3 to 5 minutes, it's okay if you don't finish. When I say stop, I will give some directions, and then you will read your justification, your proof or explanation to the person next to you. I will tell you when to start. So just go ahead and do your question. If you're on the left, you're 1. If you're on the right, you're number 2. You guys are absolutely just give it a try. You added some seconds, right? You added this segment, and this segment, the whole thing. The column. Yes. And then you would say from here to here that is just. Yeah. We've got words, a picture, and some algebra. All right. When I tell you to go, you are going to, person number 1, who did number 1, you're going to read the problem, show them your picture, read them your justification, and then stop. Person 2 is not going to go yet. Go ahead. So Aiden, go ahead and pause for now. If you're not done, that's okay. Just listen to his. Yep, you read him the problem, show him your picture, and do your explanation. You do not have to copy it down, just listen. You good? Okay, stop. Did your person have a picture?
Yeah.
What main words or phrases did you hear? Midpoint, absolutely. What else? Segment addition postulate, because we have a 10. And because of midpoint, you got another 10. And it seems pretty basic, 10 and 10 is 20, but that's because the segment addition postulate. Good. Hopefully they had more than just midpoint, segment addition postulate they had in this phrase or sentence. Yes? Yeah, just a second. When I say go, person number 2, you're going to read your question, show them the picture you made, and give them your justification. Go ahead. Show him and then I'll. Okay.
Alright, so, you already know.
Did you read it already?
Wait, we're supposed to do number 2?
Yeah, read it to her. Oh, you didn't follow the directions. Person on the left is supposed to do number 1. Person on the right is
I
supposed to do
thought
number
you
2.
meant like on the side
Oh, I
of
got it. Sorry. Yeah, I wasn't clear. That's okay. So just read her what, did you read her what you have? Read her yours and see if there's
First, I got given. Then I got
Yep.
that. That's probably wrong.
Okay. So kind of like we learned in our last chapter. See how I have this segment and this segment together? This plus this.
But there's no.
That's what you write down. 6 plus sign equals. Then you just say. Because of the segment, right? And once you have the long equation, you say get x plus outside. Once you get that, so I see what you took 5 plus. We don't want to do that because our whole goal is just. So you're trying to that this is how. You're trying to show how you got. You're not saying, here's my answer. Here's how I took it. I can check it. You're saying do this. All right. Did your person have a picture? What main phrase did they start with? Given. Did they do segment addition postulate?
They did.
Did they say anything about get x by itself?
Yes.
Did we have to substitute for this one? Not at the end. We had x was 5, so we never had to plug that back in. Maybe you had something like this. K is between L and M. Maybe they said LK plus KM equals LM, and then they substituted. So there could have been substitution early on. Number 3, we are going to do together. Yes. Number 3, angle 1 and angle 2 are complementary. Angle 1, 2x plus 6. Angle 2, 3x minus 1. Justify that angle 1 is 40. Put a box around that. Do not discuss that or write anything about that. That will be our final statement. Most problems start with a picture. You could draw a picture, but we know what this vocab word means. Who can remind me? Vocab complementary. Wow, look at all those hands. Josh.
2 angles that add up to 90 degrees.
Couldn't have said it better myself. 2 angles that add up. Say it. I can't even say it. 2 angles. Perfect. 2 angles that add. I wanted to say it exactly like you did. 2 angles that add up to 90 degrees. So how does that apply to my problem? Angle 1 and angle 2, right? Add up to. Let's write that down. Measure of angle 1 plus measure of angle 2 add up to equal 90. We have to put words there. So what words am I going to say about what I just wrote?
Our angle 1 and angle 2 add up.
Because of what reason?
Because of complementary.
Yes, you could just say because of complementary. By the definition of complementary. Complementary tells me use the word complementary in a sentence or phrase. Go. I wrote because they are complementary. Now, we like equations because we like algebra. We're good at that. I have an equation. See how there's not many numbers in there? Do we have numbers we could substitute? Yes, do not substitute that one. Pretend that one is not there. You are going to take angle 1 and substitute it there, and angle 2 and substitute it there. Go ahead. Now we're going to write a sentence or phrase with what word in it? Substitute. So say, next substitute. Substitute your expressions. Write something more than just one word. Substitute. I put substitute in angle 1 and angle 2. Do we need to say anything about segment addition postulate? There's no segments, right? We don't even need angle addition postulate because we already have our equation and we already have a reason for it. And technically, if angles, this is kind of a side note, look up here real quick. If I have this angle and this angle, aren't those complementary? That's 90. They're not even touching. So in this case, I wouldn't even use angle addition postulate because they're not touching. That's why we're not using it here. Back to this problem. What do we need to do now? You could say solve for x. You could say get x by itself. Go ahead on your own. Don't look at the whiteboard. Get x by itself. $85 divided by 5 is 17. Should we stop there? What should we do now? Substitute 17 back into angle 1. Yeah. We substitute that back into angle 1 because we're trying to explain about angle 1. Substitute x into angle 1. Yeah, that's work. Then I showed my work. I took angle 1 from up above and I substituted that x in there. There really is no need to circle your answer. It's not wrong if you do, but this whole thing is your answer. You are asked to justify, prove, show, and angle 1 is 40. You do that one step at a time. Any questions on this one? Most times you have to have a picture. Complementary, you wouldn't necessarily need one. All right, we have two kind of phrases to go over here. Vertical angles, you've seen this before. Please draw any angle you want, preferably not 90. To make a vertical angle, you simply extend the ray in the opposite direction. Watch. Here's my ray, just keep on going. Take this ray and just keep on going. These angles are vertical and they match. They are equal. They are what we call congruent. Mark them alike. The mathematical way that we usually mark them is give them matching arcs like that. Sometimes an arc with a little dash through it, whatever, as long as the markings match. Write down vertical angles are congruent. You will see that symbol in the notes, in the homework, on a quiz. You need to know that that means congruent, which basically means equal measure. So you might be thinking, why do we have to have a fancy word and symbol like congruent and not just say equal? I don't know for sure. My guess is we use equal signs a lot when there's an equation or a number. But when we just have pictures, images, there's not really a number right there. So for a lot of pictures, we just say they're matching, they're congruent. They're equal measures, even though we don't know what the measure is. They are matching. Does anybody see another set of vertical angles there? This matches this. Notice I gave them a different marking because they're not all four the same. There's two pairs. Transitive property. We have not heard this before, I don't believe. If A equals B and B equals C, then don't say it out loud. Fill in the blank if you can figure it out. A is equal to B. B is also equal to C. Anybody got a conclusion? Perfect. Then A equals C. Here's the example I always use in case that doesn't make sense. Let's say that these two are the same age. And let's say that these two are the same age. Wouldn't it make sense that those two have to be the same age? Right? Even if you don't know how old any of them are, if they match, well then they all three match, which would put those two equal to each other. That's the transitive property. We are going to use both of those in our final proof for the day. Here it is. Number 4. If angle 2 is congruent to angle 3, justify that angle 3 is congruent to angle 6. This is where we're trying to get to. We are not going to discuss it yet. Let's go ahead and mark our picture. Angle 2 is congruent to 3. They're equal, they match. Give them matching marks. There are many things I could say about this picture. Look up here. I could say, oh, I see a straight line. Angles 7 and 6 and 5 together add up to what number? 180. I could say angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 plus angle 4 add up to 180. Oh, look, I see another straight line. Angle 2 and 1 and 7. There's so many things I could say about this picture. And you can write about all of them. It's just going to be a ton of writing. So I want you to think about what is most important for this problem. I know that in the end, I want some information about 3. I want some information about 6. Anybody got an idea of something really helpful from this picture? Alex? Angle 2 and angle 6 are vertical. That means they're congruent, right? They're the same. Let's write down angle 2 congruent to angle 6. How do I know? They are vertical angles. Good. Now I notice 1 and 5 are also vertical, but I may not need to know that for this problem. I don't grade your picture, but drawing things in your picture is usually helpful. So I think it would be smart if we're trying to say that 2 and 6 are equal, that we should give them the same markings. Let's give 2 and 6 the same markings. Oh, 2 already has a mark, so that means 6 needs that mark also. Now, according to my picture, doesn't 3 match 6 now? Yeah. The reason that they match now is because 2 and 3 matched and 2 and 6 match. See how that's the transitive property? It's kind of written over here also. 2 is the same as 3. 2 is the same as 6. So therefore, 3 and 6 have to be the same. Angle 3 is congruent to 6. Transitive property. So if you go back to the age one, 2 and 3 are the same age. 2 and 6 are the same age. So 3 and 6 have to be the same. That's how I get the transitive property.